the States until I was 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that now. So you could have been just over the pond. I'm just waiting for to redirect here. Redirecting to YouTube. Okay. Once that's done, I'll start this then. Okay. Now I'm just waiting for this to, it seems to be doing okay. Okay. Now I'm going to start recording. Hello there, and welcome back to another episode for the Coaching Support Summit, an online event I'm running at the moment in order to give people tools for wherever they are right now. It's a difficult time, and some people are suffering emotionally, personally, and also we have people that are struggling with business, and especially people that maybe aren't always online. And I think that we can also be bombarded, and there's a lot coming on online at the moment as well. So it's great to share, and I know our next speaker, Jen, from a group I'm in on Facebook. And I know that Jen has lots of wonderful stuff to share with us. So on that note, all the way from Denver, Colorado, welcome, Jen.
Hi, Dolores. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you here. So yeah, we're going out, as the microphone falls. We're going live now on YouTube as well. So this is a global audience as well. So like, that's the great thing about the net, isn't it? We just, no matter where we are in the world, we can connect with people, and we can connect with the right people. So I suppose I'm going to just introduce Jen to you as well. And Jen is a former marketing executive for NASA at the Kennedy Space Center. How exciting does that sound? And then turned award-winning coach and entrepreneur. So would you like to tell us a little bit about your journey, maybe first to, from the NASA Space Center to being an award-winning coach?
Yeah, I mean, I love working at Kennedy Space Center. My job there was as the manager of advertising and consumer research, which basically means I was responsible for all paid marketing that you were doing. Most people don't realize, but Kennedy Space Center is one of the top 5 tourist attractions in the entire state of Florida. Competing with the big guys like Walt Disney World and SeaWorld and Universal Studios. We were at the top 5. So my job, my responsibility, the metric that I was held accountable to was getting visitors through the gate. I actually wore a pager, because this is back in the days of pagers, a pager on my hip that gave me an hour by hour count of how many visitors we had come through the attraction gate every day of the year. Basically, we were open every day of the year, I believe. And so that was my responsibility. That was my job. And I loved it there. Got to rub shoulders with astronauts and dignitaries and celebrities. But the reality was that I was working like a dog. I was working 60, 70 hours a week, and the pay wasn't great because it was the government. And so I decided to leave. I decided to quit corporate America. I dropped out, basically became an entrepreneur about 16 years ago. I've had 4 businesses in those 16 years. This is my 4th one. And I'm loving what I'm doing. So what I do now is work as a business coach. I'm a certified platinum business coach. Last year, I won Innovator of the Year out of 550 global business coaches. And what I do is help business owners monetize by creating attraction marketing systems that can generate leads, improve your conversion rate, increase your average dollar sale per transaction, and keep more profit in your pocket.
Now that sounds like something we all like. And that's great. I think it's wonderful that you've had a journey and that you made the brave decision, because I mean it's a big decision to leave a government paying job, no matter if how small paying or whatever it was. It's still a big leap of faith to jump into something completely different. So well done on that.
Thank you. I'm so glad that I did, because I mean, I've basically 10x'd my income at a minimum, just because I decided to make that break. And if I wouldn't have had the guts to do it, I mean, I probably would have had a great career working for them if I would have stayed with them. I've also worked for ABC Television. I worked for a big pharma company. I've worked for a national nonprofit called Junior Achievement. So I've had other jobs. And so I think I would have been successful in corporate America, and I appreciate my friends and my clients and other people who have jobs in corporate America. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It just wasn't for me. I
Yeah.
wanted to have freedom in my life and to not have anybody else be holding holding the keys to my future, really.
Absolutely. And you know what, you probably took a lot of different skill sets and all from that. And one thing I love the way you promote what you do is that you tell people that they can do this with ease and grace, bring people to their online and to get people online and noticed with ease and ethics. So pray tell us how you do that.
So really it's about understanding what problem you solve and who you solve it for. And not being so in love with your company that you can't see the hidden opportunities. So what I do is I uncover hidden opportunities. What I see a lot of business owners doing is not that they don't operate with ethics. I don't think that people intentionally start off marketing their business without ethics. I think it's just hard to navigate all of the information. And so you might have someone saying, what you need to do is build an email list. And then the next time they turn around, there's someone there that's willing to sell them an email list, right?
Mm,
And they take that email list and they put it into their email marketing system. And while that might not be illegal, I mean, now it is in a lot of countries and in a lot of places. There's something about that. People haven't given permission for you to take those emails, and they may have unwittingly given an email address to another company, and then that company sold it to you, and you're not meaning to do this with harm, but you're not intending to bother people or spam people, but then all of a sudden, you're sending emails to an email list out of an email system to people that didn't sign up for it. So what I teach you how to do is how to build your email list ethically so that you don't find yourself getting trapped in violation of can spam laws, or getting people annoyed and getting flagged as a spammer like that. That's what we're trying to avoid here. And it all comes down to understanding what problem you solve, who you solve it for, and then providing valuable information that people really want. They raise their hand and they ask for it, and they see you as an expert and a thought leader and someone that's helping them solve problems. That's really where the ethics comes from, and the grace comes from, the ease comes from knowing that you understand who your market is, you have a message that speaks to them, and you know what media you need to be on. When you get those three things figured out, everything becomes so much easier in your business.
fantastic. Yeah. And I mean, it's true, I mean, none of us, we get so much emails. We don't really want to get an email from someone that we haven't signed up because it's not our ideal client. I mean, what's the point in me getting something about cars, which I know nothing about, and I don't know one car from another. I don't want to get emails from somebody about cars because I'm just not interested in, and I'm not their ideal client.
Yeah, and a lot of business owners, sometimes when they haven't done online marketing before, they have a bad taste in their mouth because they've unwittingly been added to someone's email list that did not do it with ethics. And they just put you on an email list. Or, maybe unintentionally, if you're using networking and or now we're not, but when we could go to networking events, right? And you're running around to networking events and you come home with a big stack of business cards and you're like, well, what do I do with these now? And
Yeah.
then unwittingly, I see business owners starting to put those business cards into their email list. And that's again, it's not intentional violation of ethics in business, but it happens and people just don't know. So my role, I feel, is to educate and empower business owners to do marketing that matters, that works, and that people want. Your marketing should wow people. It should be a joy. On my YouTube channel that I just launched a new YouTube channel about 2 months ago, and I talk about high impact, low cost marketing ideas that wow buyers, that make people go, wow, what an awesome business, what an awesome business owner. They get me. This is a joy. This is really awesome information, and I want more of that.
Wow, that sounds wonderful. You have me excited even talking about it.
Your marketing should be fun. You should have, if you're not having fun with your marketing, think about how it's going to be received on the other end.
Yeah.
So making your marketing a joy is the big idea here.
So you're saying email marketing, is that your number one, or is there another platform you prefer?
So the style of marketing that I teach, preach, and practice is called direct response marketing, or it's also called attraction marketing, where we're basically using information to attract attract potential future buyers into our sales process. Some people call it a sales funnel. I'm sure you've heard that, right? With ClickFunnels and stuff, like into your sales funnel. And the reality is, Dolores, that 99% of people, when they see a marketing message for the first, second, third, fourth, fifth time, are not what we call now buyers, meaning they're not going to pick up the phone and call you. They're not going to fill out a contact form. They're not going to schedule a free consultation. They're just not, because they're on a journey.
Mm.
Now, some people's journey might be 2 years, and the journey is in solving the problem that you solve for them. So you might have some people where this journey might take them 2 years. You might have some people where the journey might take them 2 months, 2 days, 2 hours, 2 minutes. So it's our responsibility as business owners to provide them the information that they need, where they are on their journey, and to meet them where they are. If you're only doing tactical marketing, which is looking for now buyers, going a tactical marketing call to action might be call for a free consultation. Okay. So tactical marketing is you're putting a marketing message in front of someone, an ad, a post on Facebook, call me now, sign up for my program, call me now. You're only going to be, if you get lucky, 1 out of 100 people that see that would be willing to take you up on that offer. I think the numbers are even smaller than that on the internet, right? So we have to create a system, a funnel, a process using information that people want, that's valuable, that moves them down the sales journey, the buyer's journey at their pace. And then they'll love your marketing. You'll love your marketing. They should be, and then your job is to impress them with great quality content in a way that moves them down your process.
Love that. So then I guess you're talking about, really, if you have an email list, let's say, I mean, I have an email list, who I do nurture weekly. But listening to you here now, I would think that possibly maybe I should split sometimes with, like, because not everybody obviously in my list is on the same, some people have only started with me recently, like signed up recently. So would you suggest then that we should be targeting people at different stages in our email list where they are at their journey, or how do we find out that information?
Okay, so the first thing to do is to map out what your journey is. Okay. With regard, put the emails aside, right? So what is your process? I'll share mine just so everyone knows. So what I do primarily is I have 2 things. I do live events where I'm a speaker at other people's conferences, other people's associations, or companies or organizations pay me to come in as a keynoter or a breakout trainer on marketing. And they'll pay me to come in and speak at their conference. Okay. Now from the conference, if it's a paid keynote for a company, like I've spoken for the Ritz-Carlton, say, then I'm not using that as an opportunity to generate emails for myself, usually, because they've paid me to come in and provide a service. But there are going to be people in the audience that still want more from me. Okay. Even though my intention is not there to build my email list, because I'm getting paid to deliver a service. So what I do is, I wrote a book. My 5th book is about to be published. But my 4th book, Boss Women Rock, I have my book for sale at the event if the organizer hasn't purchased. Inside the book, when you open it up, there are invitations and links to join my Facebook group. There are links to sign up for free online classes that I offer, that people just put their email address in and then they can get access to the course. So that's my sales funnel, is live event, sell a book. The people that sell the book join my or buy the book, join my Facebook group, or sign up for a free course so that I can get their email address. And now they go on my list. That's the process. Other people come onto my list from online. avenues, right? So primarily the number one way that I build my list is I have a magazine. You can see it here in the back. So I
That is
have
a
a
great
magazine.
magazine.
Thank you. I have a magazine called Boss Woman Rock that I give away for free. And so when people go to bosswomanrockmagazine.com, they go to the URL, they look at the landing page, they put their email address in, and they download the magazine for free. So now, once they're in my magazine email list, on the thank you page for the magazine and on the thank you emails, thank you for subscribing, here's your free magazine, there's an invitation to my Facebook group.
Okay.
So what, and then once they get in the group, that's where I nurture, serve, support, love with information,
Yeah.
videos, live trainings. This morning I did a webinar for 68 people. Like, so I do trainings, provide value, more information. And then at the end of that webinar, I make an offer for a service that I do. It's a 45-minute business breakthrough call where I can uncover between $10,000 and $100,000 in hidden revenue opportunity in any business, guaranteed. And so I put a link to my calendar at the end of the webinar. So then people from the end of the webinar, because they're telling me based on their behavior where they are in the funnel. So first they subscribe to the magazine, they get the emails. The emails invite them to the Facebook group. From the Facebook group, they go on the webinar. From the webinar, they get on my calendar.
Yeah.
Okay. So now when I had 7 people get on my calendar this morning. So now I've got 7 calls set up for next week. And so when people get on my calendar, they're serious. They're further along in the journey than when they just became a magazine subscriber or joined my Facebook group. And I've done all of those things with intention. I've created the path. I've designed the sales funnel, right? The marketing process to serve primarily with free content, free information that moves them down the journey so that when they get on my calendar, I know that I've got a business owner that is ready. They're serious, right? And then even to get on my calendar, you have to fill out an application. Like I just don't take calls with everybody. So they have to fill out an application in order for me to keep that call with them for next week, just to make sure that I'm a right match for them and they're a right match for me, right? So all of those things were thought out with intention, and it's the same process over and over and over again. So even so then people will say, well, how do you get people to subscribe to your magazine? I know when I wake up on Monday morning, all I have to do is promote the magazine. So I have a podcast where I invite guests to come on and I interview them. And then there's a little ad at the end of the podcast for the magazine. I have a YouTube channel. Inside the description of the YouTube channel, there's a link to the magazine. There's a link to my Facebook group. So I'm using my content to fuel the funnel, to fuel the marketing process. And every single step along that journey is value, is information that wows people.
Yeah.
Right?
And I have to say, I know that because I'm in your group, and like you do provide value like that, because like I'm not hugely in an awful lot of groups because I personally don't have the time. I've 2 children and I have a certain amount of hours every day while they're at school. So like I am kind of, it sounds awful, but maybe selective sometimes because I can't have a certain amount of time. But it definitely, I think we will be drawn to the groups that provide value. And I definitely think your Boss Women Rock magazine does rock. And it's quite exciting to find, to find a group, I suppose, that you resonate with. And that's what we're all looking for. So, and I mean, for you then, other people aren't your ideal clients if that's not what makes them rock. And I love the way you designed that process because it does make it sound simple, actually. And I know that you've got that process set up, like you've got it set up so well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the concept that makes direct response marketing work which I'm teaching and preaching and practicing, the concept that makes it work is that it's not just one thing. It's omni-channel, we call it, right? So it's omni-channel with lots of different types of media. Because, the reality is if you only rely on one media channel. So here's a story. This actually happened to me. So about 3 years ago, when I was first starting my keynote speaking business, I said, okay, well, every speaker has a YouTube channel. I need to create a YouTube channel. So I started creating a YouTube channel, and I thought I was doing everything right. I was providing value. I was putting YouTube videos up on a regular basis. I was doing the cool thumbnails, like optimizing it, making it look great and everything. And then for no reason whatsoever that I can find, YouTube decided to shut the channel down.
Oh my goodness.
Mhm. And I just received an email notification one day that said your YouTube channel has been shut down. You can't access it. Da da da. And I had to do a lot of research to try to figure out what was going on. And think I figured out that it was tied. I had originally set it up with an older email address that I had at one time, and then I lost control of the email address, even though I had converted it to a brand channel and now was managing it with a different email. And I didn't have access to the old email address. So
Oh,
I lost that YouTube channel. So if I would have had all my eggs in one basket as a marketer, as a business owner, and only relying on YouTube traffic, my entire business would have collapsed. But it didn't. My business is flourishing and I have more people than I can handle to talk to on the phone every week. So because I don't have all my eggs in one basket, I have different channels that I'm using. And I'm also really cognizant about moving traffic off of media that I do not own. So social media is great for getting eyeballs and generating traffic and generating awareness. But at some point, you've got to move those eyeballs, that traffic into a media that you own,
yes, yes,
because
yes.
you're at risk if you don't. Facebook could shut your Facebook page down. You could get your ad account banned. You could lose access to your profile if they think that you're selling too much on your personal
Mhm.
profile page for your business. They don't want you to do that. Anything could happen. Twitter could get taken away from you.
Oh, don't say
Yeah, I
that.
could. I mean, I've had it happen to me. It happens. So not my Twitter account, it's up still, but my YouTube channel got taken. So it happens. These are very real risks that we're taking. So moving all of your traffic, moving people to a singular point so that you can collect the email address, because now I can take the emails, I can download them onto a spreadsheet and they live on my computer. They're not on someone else's platform. It's media that I own. Right. And I also collect mailing addresses for a select few clients. Prospects, I send them physical packages. And then for my members and my clients, I mail them things in the regular old snail mail. I mail people stuff, right? Because it works. So that's the big idea about direct response marketing, is making it omni-channel and making sure that you have control of your sales process and that you have control of your list.
Oh, yes. Sounds great. So tell us about I love the fact that you have a magazine, and I know that you have done that with one of your clients as well. You know, a lot of people would think that that is a very old fashioned, and why would you be in print, but you totally disagree, and you think that having your own magazine is absolutely wonderful. I mean, why not? As Oprah Winfrey has one, why shouldn't Jen
Yeah.
DeVore
Yeah.
have
Right. So that was the inspiration behind my magazine funnels. Is I was looking around and going, okay, I need a lead magnet. I need something that people want, that's interesting, that people think is fresh and new and is not overdone, because everybody has a guide and a checklist, and even webinars, everybody has those now. So
Yeah.
what can I create that's new? And then there were two things that happened. So one thing was I was just in, where was I? I was in like Barnes and Noble or Books a Million, in a bookstore, old fashioned bookstore. Okay. And I'm walking around the bookstore and I stumbled on the magazine section and I saw that Joel Osteen, who, is a big time Christian preacher with a big, gigantic mega church in Texas and stuff. I saw that Joel Osteen has a magazine. I said, oh, well, that's interesting. Why does Joel Osteen have a magazine? So I picked up the magazine. His face is on the front, right? And I open it up and I'm flipping through it and I start to realize, I'm like, wow, it was a really simple magazine. It wasn't overly done with a lot of ads in it. It was just content, articles with beautiful photos. All right. And so I bought the magazine and I brought it home and I said, that's a good idea. I don't know what I'm going to do with that exactly yet. But when I see good marketing ideas, I collect them.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
do
yeah.
collect
Good,
them. I
good.
say that got my attention. Out of this whole entire store, that magazine got my attention. So I took the magazine home. I just kind of had it sit there. And then another day, I was in the grocery store and I'm in the checkout lane and I'm looking at the magazines in the checkout lane right next to me at the grocery store. And I started to look at the magazine covers and I realized that Oprah Winfrey is the only person that consistently puts her face on the cover of her own magazine. There are lots of other magazines, for food and Family Circle and Women's Day and People Magazine and all these other magazines, but the covers are constantly changing and different. The topics are different. But Oprah, on a consistent basis, has published a magazine for like the last 18 years every month. Now, look at Oprah Winfrey is one of the most successful people on the planet.
Yeah.
And she's the only one out of all of these people with all this information and content that's publishing a magazine that has her on the front. Okay.
Imagine. Wow. Yeah.
Right? It's like hiding in plain sight. It's a celebrity marketing secret hiding in plain sight, in my words, right? So I take her magazine, I bring it home. And then I'm thinking, I start to see the online space changing, and I'm always trying to be one step ahead. Last year, I won Innovator of the Year, right, in business coaching, because I'm always one step ahead of everyone. And so I started to see, I'm like, you know what? No one is doing this. This is something that, online business owners or online marketers like me, no one's doing this. People are writing books, tons. People have webinars, tons. Build a Facebook group, great. But the magazine funnel was a completely different idea that I had not seen. And so what I did was I took the Oprah idea of creating your own magazine and I married it with a funnel on the back end, just like I explained to you how I use mine for Boss Women Rock, so that I could quickly and under 30 days, quickly and easily, with ease and grace, publish magazines for my clients and then put a funnel on the back that helps them accomplish their business goals, primarily email list building and putting people into your sales pipeline. So I've combined those two things, and that's what I'm doing as a done for you service for my clients right now, because it works so great. It's been amazing for me, and then for my clients too, that everybody gets amazing results for them. So I think that it's not that it's old fashioned just because that it's in print. It's what's old is new again, I guess, like, what it comes around. Yeah. And so it's been working great. And I don't argue with what works. You know what I mean? It works. And I also think if you market in the affluent market to people that are buying luxury brands, think about it. You get in the back of a private jet, or even in a regular airline. What's in the back of the seat pocket? Magazines, right? So it's a really awesome way. I have so much content on magazine funnels. We could spend 4 hours on that, but I mean, it's a really awesome way of sharing your message, building your list. You can monetize your magazine with advertisers and sponsors. There's just so many ways that you can use it to build your business.
So like I know that you work with Leah Woodford, and so when I joined her author academy, I got a box with various things in it, and one of them was her magazine, and like a lovely shiny magazine. Don't we all? I know I love picking up a nice, and it's a lovely glossy, good quality, and I think that it was a lovely touch. I also got a Smart Femme t-shirt, different things like that that's got the branding, but and so it does work.
Yeah, it does.
Yours, actually, do you print yours on a monthly basis then as well?
No, I don't do monthly. I do quarterly.
Oh, you do quarterly, and is it a printer just online?
Yeah, I just use an online printer. You can use any printer. Even your local printer can do the magazines for you. But for my clients, I just handle the whole entire process from start to the finish. Right. And you don't have to order a lot. Printing nowadays isn't like it used to be, where you had to order 4,000 copies of something. Like pretty much any printer can do what's called short run, where you don't have to order, 4,000 of them or something. You can just order a handful. I have a client recently, he's an endodontist, which is a dentist that specializes in root canals.
I know.
Yeah. Right? Have you had one? Yeah. And so his business is basically 100% referral from other dentists who don't want to do root canals. And so we created a magazine campaign for him, a magazine funnel for him, that he could mail to the general dentists that are in Houston that send him referrals. And then there's a whole campaign on that on the back end. But, so it can be really an awesome way. Like you said, you got Leah's and you were like, wow, see, didn't it work? You were wowed. They're amazing. People love them.
Oh, so much information.
Yeah.
Any other juicy nugget before you leave us? Anything I haven't asked you, or you'd like to just drop in there?
Yeah, the most important thing is to stay focused, especially right now during a pandemic and everyone be working from home, is to be flexible, pivot your business, and to really think differently. Don't do what your competitors are doing. That's the other thing. Don't pay attention to them.
But say if
Do
we're not
what,
innovators like you, then I think we just have to go talk to you, do we?
yeah, I mean, just don't do what your competition is doing. Do things differently. Do the exact opposite. Find a need in the market, serve your people well, provide value, 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 and that's where your business is going to come from.
Yeah, that's such an interesting thing to say, actually, I have to say, because, you know, there is a tendency to think, and I mean, I'm sure I've done it over, you know, as well before. You see everybody doing something and it's like, oh God, I should be doing that too then.
Mhm.
But it's that tendency to stop and just go, yeah, but they're, you know, that we all have our own ideal clients and customers, and it's to serve them. The other people's clients are theirs and they don't have the same pain points. So it really is, yeah, going back to who our clients are.
Yeah. Who are your clients? How can you wow them? How can you serve them well?
Gosh, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Thank you so much.